Okay, right, so Facebookers, we've got some questions today. Now, excuse the laptop, but I couldn't really group these questions into one topic, so we are going to answer these questions individually. They're quite short, they don't really tie in to each other, so we couldn't really sort of accumulate into one topic. So, first question from Darren Cobb. Hi, I was wondering what's your training schedule? Do you do one body part per day? Now, yesterday we did a training video on sort of making your own routine. As Sean was with me, but I'm sure Sean's seen it since. And we kind of answered this question in that video. However, Sean wasn't available because he was working on that particular day. So really, have you got anything to add to what I said about breaking your body parts up in that video, Sean? And sort of like listening to your body and sort of, you know, just sort of breaking it up into push emotions, pull emotions, legs, etc. Anything really you could sort of add to that, or?
It depends on the individual, to be honest with you. And I think what a big difference it will make is if your commitments are, say, work, for example, like myself. I work a lot of hours, so I tend to try and do a 2-day on, 1 day off, and a 2-day on, and a weekend off split. I mean, some people do like to do one body part a day, depending on the person. Again, it's about preference. Some people might even do split training, come in the morning, come in the night. It depends on each one. Some people will say, for example, if you do back, you work in your back, you do your biceps. Again, there's not really one sort of set way. Again, it's best to go how you feel. Now, if you're going to choose a big muscle group, then maybe you can do a small muscle group. So it doesn't have to be back or biceps. You could do back and triceps. It doesn't really matter. So again, if you're asking for a split as such, it's best that you sort of come towards the body parts that maybe you're lacking or need more on. Depends. You might do weak point training twice a week. It depends to the individual. So I think one of the best things to do is if you send us a picture of yourself, what you're kind of currently doing, then we can sort of adjust what you need regards to your sort of training split. And obviously what your work commitments are and stuff like that, what's your availability. Is weekends better for you to have on, have off, weekdays, mornings, evenings? Do you like a few more meals? Depends on the actual individual.
I suppose what we've got to obviously understand as well is there's no picture on this question. The profile pic's a bit of a generic one, so we can't sort of see what level of development you are. And as I said in my video the other day, you know, if this is your first year training, it could even be short, couldn't it, that they do a whole body workout, you know, for the first couple of weeks. Yeah. It could be they just need 3 workouts in a week, you know. If this geezer's been training for 5 to 7 years, you know, obviously it's going to be a lot different answer that we're going to give you. But if you're asking, you know, what our training schedule is, you know, I went into mine the other day, and obviously Sean's can tell you what his training schedule is verbatim if you actually want to know what his training schedule is. But what works for Sean might not work for you. Now, I know you do your chest on a Monday, don't you, Sean? Yeah.
No.
Sorry, back on Monday. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so go from start to finish on your split. Sorry, so
okay.
You can actually know what pro does.
So, for me personally, obviously my sort of training split. Don't forget as well that obviously I'm an advanced bodybuilder who's actually competing. So obviously I'm sculpting my body. Some people are going to be at different levels. So it depends. Are you looking for the beach body? You just want to tone up. Again, this will tie into what we talk about in the other post about the dieting. Obviously you can't bulk and sort of diet at the same time, so it depends exactly what you're looking to do. But for me, what I do is say on Monday, I'd like to train in the morning, so I feel that's better for me. So I will do like a big muscle group, which will be back, and even with back, with me, it kind of like takes it out of me a lot. So what I tend to do is just do back, traps, and maybe rear delts, because after I've done like deadlifts and stuff lower back, after you're doing like 4, 5, 6 plates, it's like zapped me as it is, and then I feel like if I do a small body part, it's going to like take it out of me a little bit more, so I'd rather give it the concentration on there. So I tend to do sort of back traps and work on the whole from bottom to top, doing the back on its own and maybe adding some rear delts. Again, next day will be Tuesday. On Tuesday, again, I would like to do chest. So again, I'm hitting a big muscle group and I'll tie that in with some biceps. I do have a slight niggle in my shoulder and rotator cuff, so that obviously you've got a tie-in from there to your bicep tendon as well. So what I tend to do is I like to do the biceps on its own, so I just don't like to take out the shoulder just to make sure. So again, it's just working around if you do have slight niggles, injuries or anything else, and it's just about being smart. So again, it's training intelligently, yeah?
Listen to your body.
And listen to your body. Next one, I'll have a split day off on Wednesday. So I've had 2 days, I've done a pulling exercise and a pushing exercise, then I like to have a day off. Again, that's taken from the upper body, those two. So then once I have come to Thursday, I'll do legs. I pretty much, to be honest with you, do the whole of the legs. I might miss calves, so you're doing your quads, hamstrings. If I have got enough, I will do calves. Again, judging how I feel on the day, as you're doing like quads, hamstrings, as you know, if you obviously train them as hard, you might not have the energy to do the smaller muscle group. Don't forget, sometimes you could do smaller muscle group first, then concentrate on, so it depends on the person how they like to train. So we've gone through Monday back, Tuesday chest and biceps, Thursday we go straight to legs, and that's going to be pretty much all the legs, and then all we've got left is on Friday, and Friday what we do is we do shoulders and we do triceps. Again, it's only a sort of small muscle group, again shoulders again, so I tend to see how I feel. Sometimes I do the tricep first, depending on how I feel, or I might do the shoulders, it depends.
Just to add to that, something that I said in a video yesterday, just to bear in mind, obviously Sean's a very advanced bodybuilder. For most people, if you're working your chest and shoulders on separate days, your triceps will be getting hit twice a week. So unless your recovery ability is very high, like Sean's is, and you're getting proper nutrition, you'll probably find an extra dedicated tricep day might be a little bit too much for you. Okay, but still you can have biceps separate to back, and then your biceps get hit slightly twice a week.
And again, on that, obviously, it brings us back again. So as we talk about the supplements, as we talked about your branch chains, your L-glutamines, everything else that's going to help recover your muscles. I think we're going to talk about in other posts about vitamins, things like vitamin C, anti-inflammatory and stuff like that will help recover the muscles again for your next workout. So again, it's like listening to your body and see how you feel. If a body part's actually still feeling sore and you come to doing it again, maybe you might need an extra day rest, so you might swap it round. So don't think when you come to do something that you have to do it because it's 7 days or 10 days or 3 days or split day. Just remember, listen to your body and see how you feel. If it's still hurting, maybe you need another day rest.
Okay, right, so moving on. This next question, we're going to answer quite quick because I know we spent a bit of time on that first question. 3 people asked this, so I'm going to say this as from an anonymous source because I don't want to list any particular one person for this question. However, it's pretty much the same thing. Hi, I was wondering how to get rid of love handles. Thanks a lot. Okay, so to start with, you cannot spot reduce fat. Okay, each person stores fat in a different percentage in different areas. Some people store more fat on their stomachs. Some women store more fat on their hips, their thighs. Some people store more on their love handles. Your fat distribution pattern is sort of genetically made up by your body type and your diet as a whole. Okay, now to particularly reduce your love handles, as you say, which is going to be the oblique fat here, you're going to have to remove fat across the whole body. You cannot just spot reduce fat in one particular area, and I'm sure Sean's going to just back this up in a second. But basically, just a general fat loss program, and eventually your love handles will reduce. And that's basically the best information I can give you. You cannot spot reduce your love handles by doing any specific exercise or any specific motion or eating any specific food. You have to lose fat as your body loses fat, and your body will eat fat in the order that from the areas of the body it sees fit.
Yeah, so exactly what Chris has said. I don't really think there's much else to add to that. Obviously, to sort of start losing your sort of body fat, it's going to lose it from everywhere. So depending if you're doing high intensity training or you're doing low intensity for longer periods of time, whichever it takes to do it, but there is no way that you can specifically burn fat from a certain area, because certain people will go, I want to burn it from my glutes, my hips, my stomach. Your body's going to lose body fat percentage from the whole of its body to actually reduce body fat from everywhere.
Okay, so next question, hoping that's cleared some answers up, because I do get a few questions actually, Sean, about how to spot reduce from the stomach to get the six pack out. Again, it's the same answer. You can't spot reduce by doing thousands of sit-ups. Anyway, Ollie Hurd. So the question is, I think it's a question and a statement. I'm on optimum nutrition, serious mass and essential amino acids. What would you recommend a perfect breakfast should be? So let's break that down to two parts. Optimum Nutrition are a very good brand of supplements, and serious mass and amino acids are always good to supplement with. They're good products. But really that doesn't really tie into the second part of the sentence, which is what would you recommend a perfect breakfast should be? Now obviously this is going to have multiple answers depending on what time of day you're training. Are you going to train first thing in the morning? Are you going to train after work? And so what might be a perfect breakfast for me might not be a perfect breakfast for Sean. So all I can really say on this particular case is a perfect bodybuilder breakfast would be A, get enough protein, and B, get enough energy for what you're doing. If you're going to be working out an hour after breakfast, you're going to want some quicker releasing energy. If you're going to be working out later in the day, your energy needs are not going to be as needed quicker, so you can have a slower acting carbohydrate source, and then maybe towards your workout at the end of the day you can have your pre-workout drink, etc., or a quicker glucose drink, or whatever you need kind of thing. Would you that's fair to say, Sean?
I think that's very fair to say. Exactly.
What would you have on it? Do you go on an empty stomach to train in the morning, or?
Again, like I said, depending on timing, how I feel. So I wake up in the morning. If I am going to be literally early in the morning, I might just do it empty stomach. So again, why is it going to be empty stomach? It's going to keep me in the fat burning zone, and obviously I'm targeting the areas for fat burning as well as trying to build the muscle. Again, straight after training, I would consume some type of sort of liquid form protein shake, as you say, protein drink. Again, I can have a recovery to get some carbs in there, but literally straight after that, you get the window of opportunity, as you call it. Is it 30 minutes or so?
It's about 30 minutes to 2 hours. I mean, obviously the quicker after, the more. But
yeah.
As I said, it's about 30 minutes to 2 hours, but I would say get your protein shake for about 30 minutes and you're going to get the most maximum spike, aren't you?
Exactly, and then obviously followed by a sort of solid meal. So don't remember, it's still very important to make sure it's a combination between your sort of liquid supplements as well as your solid supplements. So more importantly, I wouldn't say to anybody to just having liquids. Again, a liquid forms easy, fast absorb into your body, but it's going to go through you quicker, whereas obviously a solid meal has to be absorbed, broken down, then distributed to certain muscles or areas it needs to be.
Okay, next question, and I think that's answered that pretty in depth. Name the game being protein and then appropriate carb source to
protein, carbs. But I do like to say again, everyone keeps asking about nutritional advice about what's the best to eat and everything else. But the one thing I'll always say is about balance. And when we say balance, as Chris just said, it's protein, carbs, good fat sources.
EFAs, we can do a post on that by the way as well. EFAs.
Yeah. And vitamins, minerals, I think quite important.
Yeah, vitamins and minerals.
We'll go into more of in-depth stuff about that in other posts, but balance is the key. Don't get me wrong, again, it's tailored to people's lifestyles regards to, eating late. Again, people will say, do I not supposed to eat carbs? Can I eat carbs? Again, how much protein do I need? How long before bed? 2 hours, 1 hour, half an hour? Again, we'll go into this in about more depth in other posts. With some of the other questions that we do get. I hope that answers a bit more.
Okay, so Joshua Holland said, Chris, I have a question to ask. I used to squat 650 pounds in high school. Since then I've dislocated my knee. How can I get back up there without hurting my knee again? Okay, so first and foremost, 650 pounds is a lot to squat. And if that squat's in good form, that is a pretty good squat. Okay, so fair play. Now, the fact you dislocate your knee, I don't know if you dislocate your knee through another injury or if you've done it through squatting. It might be though that you're not squatting in proper form, and that is why you have dislocated your knee. Obviously, I need more information to make that assumption, but again, there's not many bodybuilders I know that squat 650 pounds in perfect form. So that might have something to do with your knee. Now, the fact that you want to get back up there again without hurting your knee, I have to ask myself, why do you want to get back up there? Why is it important that you actually squat 650 pounds? Sean will tell you, because we actually share a same trainer, you can make very, very light weights and still make them feel very, very heavy, can't you, Sean? You can really take light weights, and if done properly, under continual tension, under strict form, you can work the muscles better without overloading the joints and the tendons, the ligaments. Would you say that's a fair assessment?
Yeah, a lot of people as well, they'll have sort of an injury, or something happened to them, and what they do is, I think psychologically they think they can still do that weight, and even though they've got a slight injury, it's not always going to be the case. Again, like me and Chris keep saying, we always talk about how do you feel, and again, taking the weight down, increasing the reps, taking more control, feeling it through the muscle a little bit more. Again, we can go through some more post-with videos that just to sort of demonstrate the exact technique of what we're talking about, because everybody has each to their own. It could be, with regards to this question, foot positioning. Is it wide, close, forward? It depends on there. Is it using straps, wraps? Because that will probably give you an extra 30-40% sometimes, because it makes you more springy. So again, I need to know these certain things to advise you, because what I don't want to do is give information that's going to therefore injure somebody else even more.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a perfect answer. So really, I think the main there is, if you can get back in touch with us, Joshua Holland, and sort of give us a little bit more information about the injury, and maybe a little bit more details. Me and Sean can sort of give you a bit of more specific advice. But like Sean said, you can definitely work the quadricep muscles, which is obviously the main primary muscle of the squat, without going that heavy, 650 pounds, and without damaging your knees. But yeah, definitely get in touch, please, because we'd like to hear some more information, and obviously we want to help you.
And remember, the most important thing that regards to training, and that means any type of training or any type of body part, your body doesn't know what weight is, but it does when it fails. So as you do reps, some type of weight, it's going to be the fatiguing of the muscles. So it doesn't matter if it's 1 plate or 10 plates, at some point weight always wins, but it's going to fail. So when you fail, then you're done. So remember, there's always different types of way of training using the same weight. Again, you can do drop sets, pyramid sets, high rep, low rep. It depends how you feel. Again, it doesn't have to be trying to aim to get the biggest or the heaviest amount of weight. That's going to put more pressure on your joints, your tendons, your ligaments and stuff. That's going to further later down the line mess you up. Remember, there's a life after training, after bodybuilding. It's about health and safety first.
I guess when you're 70 years old, you want to be walking around and not in a wheelchair, basically. So, think long term. Bodybuilding's a journey, and obviously it's a sport we love now, and we want to continue doing it. Okay, so this is going to be the last question we're going to do, because it's a bit of a messy one, and it might take a few minutes to clear this one up. So, excuse the pronunciation, Sean, but Peter Robinson's asked, "Hi, okay, old man seeking advice, was 23 stone, lard arse, fat scouser." That's his words, not mine. "Then I got down to 17 stone. Now I'm up to 19 and out of love with cardio. Motivation seems to be the key to my problem. Magic wand, anyone? Was at Ironworks, as in West Heath, but I'm a nightmare for doing set routines. When in Swansea, I was doing 2 hours of cardio and 2 hours of weights in one session. Wow, that's 4 hours in the gym. Now I'm doing an hour and bored as sin. I don't stick to 1 or 2 body parts per workout. I do love squats, neglect deadlifts. I love to bench press, though I did shoulder in 3 years ago and can't get over 100 kilos. I just can't. I just cane myself all over 5 to 6 days a week. Any ideas? I'm never afraid to seek knowledge. Just being a night worker, finding it hard to put into use. Cheers, Peter." Okay, so I'm going to let Sean answer a lot of this, but essentially it seems that you're all over the shop here, and you're just trying a few different things, and you're not really sticking to a set plan. Now, the name of the game is going to be routine. Bodybuilding is a sport of routine. There has to be a regular routine, and without routine, you're not going to really succeed in this game. Okay, the fact that you've done your shouldering 3 years ago shows that maybe you're not getting the proper techniques and learning the proper movements. The fact that you don't put your body parts together into splits maybe shows that you haven't been taught the proper way of splitting your body parts up, or that you're trying some stuff that's too experimental. And again, spending 4 hours in the gym, 2 hours of cardio followed by 2 hours of weights. Well, to start with, that's the wrong way around anyway. Weights would come first, then cardio, and 2 hours of weights and 2 hours of cardio is just too much time. I mean, I can understand why you'd be bored to sin and why you're trying to change things around, because 4 hours in the gym would solid would just bore anyone. Okay. I mean, with that in mind, Sean, have you got anything to add to that really? I mean, the guy obviously needs to split his body parts up, like you said to the first guy in the first question. You know, he's got down to 17 stone from 23 stone, which is obviously 6 stone. That's good. Well done for that kind of weight. You've probably noticed you fluctuated back up to 19 stone. Again, you know, without knowing more information from you, we can't tell if that's you know, because of a change of diet or you know, a change of mass. You know, weight gain is not necessarily a bad thing. You know, if you gain muscle, muscle weighs more than fat. That's a good thing. But really, I think we're going to need more information on this. We're not really sure to give him a proper helping hand. Is there anything you could sort of suggest or recommend just from what he said already?
To be honest with you, I think the problem sort of here is sort of the motivation. Again, if you're spending sort of 4 hours in the gym, you know, I go to the gym and I see quite a few people in between sets on the phones, talking, having a good chat. Then they end up being there for 3-4 hours. And again, it's like a job. It's like anything. When you're spending a lot of time in the same place, you tend to get bored. Obviously, at the advanced level that we're at as we compete, I find that I bounce off others really well. Now, if you could probably find somebody who's training similar times to you, doing similar body parts, or just coming together and just seeing how they do it and jumping with them, so they're more guiding you, and you not have to think so much about, okay, I'm training each body part, I see how it feels. You might get a new buzz. Again, if you've got, you know, availability or getting the funds to do a personal training, and just have a taster session with somebody and see if that gives you a new buzz. Again, back in the day, you've got the Arnold Schwarzeneggers. I like to look at many stuff like Pumping Iron, DVDs and stuff on YouTube of people that I aspire to, and look at how they train. There's always loads of stuff on the internet you can have a look at and just get a new buzz. And if you find that you're overtraining or you're doing too much, back away a little bit, have a week off, see how you feel. Think about what you want to do. Think about how you're going to approach it. You're going to come in, warm up, do the body parts and get out. Don't waste too much time.
I think that's some excellent suggestions there. I think you've hit the nail on the head on that one, to be honest with you, Sean. But Peter, we would definitely like to hear back more from you, as well as Joshua Holland, about the squatting 650 pounds and knee problems, just so we can further get to the bottom of the reasons why, and maybe help you just a bit further than we can in sort of a general video like this. But in terms of the general questions, I think that's enough for one video, so I'm going to stop it there. But thank you very much for watching, and obviously live safe and stay safe.